my god. Oh my goodness. Guys, listen. I don't know if I'm the only one that enjoys it when these housemates argue, but it's always so hilarious, and it just did not even help matters that the two people that were having a heated altercation last night are actually two good friends. Baba and Imisi. And ladies and gentlemen, the whole thing was so funny, like so ridiculously hilarious, but at the same time, I kept on wondering, like, what went wrong? What went wrong? These three people are actually buddies. They have a great relationship in their house. What the hell is going on? But ladies and gentlemen, it was insane. It was insane. And their fight did not just start out of the blues. Yes, it was an offshoot of a clash that Imisi had with Faith just a few moments earlier in the kitchen. And on this video, I'm going to tell you all about it because, ladies and gentlemen, Imisi is unhinged. That girl is quite provocative. And you see, it all boils down to the conversation we had during our Saturday YouTube live conversation earlier yesterday, where we talked about how some of these housemates, they trigger Faith first, and then when he reacts, everybody is looking at his reaction. But then the good thing is, this time around, people actually saw the truth for what it was. Now, I'm not really sure if it's because, you know, the clash was between the two least favorite persons in the house, or if it's because the housemates just saw the plain truth and decided to speak truth to power. All right, so on this video, I'm going to tell you all the details, yeah, just as much as the camera showed us tonight. All right, so just watch this video to the end. Don't skip out on any part, but I would still love to hear your thoughts, the comment section below. And you're all welcome to my channel. My name is BBNaija. This is Frankly Speaking with BBNaija, and I am the girl with the tea. Without further ado, let's just quickly dive right into the rest of the video. All right, so first, let's begin with the Saturday night party. Ladies and gentlemen, it was a blast. The Saturday night party was insane. It was unhinged. It was simply amazing. The housemates were looking amazing. The DJ came prepared. The DJ understood the assignment. The vibe was massive. The vibe was massive. Everywhere was really hot with amazing dance moves happening here and there. Not too much drama, but ladies and gentlemen, there was some movement here and there. I mean, I noticed how Jason was trying as much as possible to avoid Dede, and every time their paths crossed on the dance floor, you will see how he will make that conscious effort to just turn around and go his way. And Dede too, sometimes she will come around his way, and then sometimes she will turn away. But then later on, something happened to Dede. I think she was quite tired, and then Bright Morgan literally carried her hand like this and led her away to go and sit down. And I was looking at Bright, I'm like, Bright, what happened? What's going on? Are you supposed to be doing that? Because there was Kola, who literally almost all night, you know, was always at Dede's side. Initially, he wasn't. He was actually having his own fun. But later on, he was always at Dede's side. And then she would move away and blah, 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 blah. So I said, okay, this is quite interesting, shall. But then later on, I noticed that Jason J, you know, when dancing, he would turn and face Dede, and it's like they're trying to communicate, but then the camera would move away. It was so frustrating. But overall, the party was not choked with drama like that. Everybody had fun. Everybody. The vibe was unmatched. Yeah. Now, fast forward to when the housemates got back into the house. You know, they were playing some games, quite interesting games, not too controversial, you know, more like games of impersonation, impersonating people in the house. And it was quite fun. But just as much as the game was going on, a lot of cooking was going on in the kitchen as well. Yeah, and we know how rowdy it gets when almost everybody in the house wants to be in the kitchen cooking. Yeah. Now, Faith was one of those persons that was in the kitchen trying to, you know, cook something for himself, and maybe one or two other persons that were also involved in the food. Yeah. And you know what happens? Everybody's going to be using the pots, the pans, almost all the utensils in the kitchen at that point in time. So because the cameras was off and on, we did not really catch, you know, the particular point where everything went south between Imisi and Faith, but from the testimonials of everybody that was a witness there, we heard everything. Yeah. Now, what had actually happened was Faith had washed the pot that he wanted to use to cook. He had put it on the stove. He had just moved away briefly, probably to go and wash something, or maybe to just pick up something from one of the cabinets. And before he would turn around, Imisi had carried the pot. Now, according to people around her, they said that she knew that the pot was for him, that he was one that just washed the pot and wanted to use it. So she carried the pot and immediately put her noodles, her raw noodles inside and wanted to cook. So Faith came back, saw her and said, no, that's my pot. And she said, hey, I just saw it here. So he was like, no, but I kept it there. I mean, how many clean pots do you see here? Everybody is using all the pots here. I washed that one and I just put it there to use. You know, typical of Imisi, she wasn't budging. She remained adamant that she wasn't going to release the pot. Yes. So it seemed as though the back and forth went on for a bit, right? But then the cameras went away. I think by the time the cameras returned, there was raw noodles all over the floor. There was water everywhere on the kitchen. And of course, there was also raw noodles on Faith's body. Yeah, on Faith's body. So it turned out that there had been a tussle and a struggle between Faith and Imisi. Both of them were dragging the pot, and according to eyewitnesses, Imisi had actually spilled the contents of the pot on Faith's body. So whether the water was hot or not, we are not really sure, but according to Zita and what's his name, Victory, they said the pot was not very hot. Like, she actually put it on the fire already trying to cook the noodles, but it wasn't like it was hot to boiling point. But I was kind of worried for Faith though, because later in the night, I noticed that he carried the first aid box and he was using spirit on his body or something. So I can't really tell if the water was really hot or not. Yeah. So that had happened and they had actually exchanged words, and Imisi was really firing at Faith and she was so upset, and Faith was telling her like, no, you had it coming for me. I mean, you knew that I put that pot there, but you still went ahead to take it. And guys, I'm going to be frank with all of you, I'm not really surprised that that whole thing played out the way it did, because remember, Imisi had told Big Brother that she wanted to make Faith's life miserable in the house because he had rejected her advances. So she was going to be playing mind games with him. She was going to be messing with him, and he was going to get tired of the house. And that's exactly what she has been doing. Every time she attacks Faith, it's always with the mission to frustrate his life in the house. And it was the same threat that she was throwing at Faith again in that kitchen. She was literally telling the guy that you will see, I will show you in this house. I will make your life so miserable that you wake up in the night and you'll be crying on your bed and nobody will be there to hear you crying. I will deal with you in this house. I will deal with you. You don't even know who you are joking with. I will deal with you. So she was throwing all of those threats at him, and Faith was responding that, listen, I'm not afraid of you. You can't do anything. You cannot do anything. You are the least of my worries in this house. You're the least of my problems in this house. In my life, you are nothing in my life. In fact, even outside, you are nothing to me. You do not mean anything to me. You don't exist to me. I mean, everything she was saying, he was responding. Anyways, that one happened, and I could hear in the kitchen that some people were actually talking about the whole situation. And one of those persons is K-Bobo. Now, I do not know exactly what K-Bobo's role was in that whole situation, because remember, the cameras has been off and on the kitchen, moving on to other conversations and coming back again. Now, not long afterwards, Imisi had gone to the garden. She was quite aggravated. She was very upset, and she was telling Kola what exactly had happened. Now, this is the part where I get really pissed at Kola as well, because a lot of times Imisi does things to people in the house, and when she goes to confide in her friend, Kola does not tell her the truth to her face, that, oh, this is where you went wrong, this is where you went wrong. Instead, he's always telling her, it's okay, making it look like she is the victim. And every time she tells what happens to either K-Bobo, her friend, or Kola, she's always victimizing herself, seeking their sympathy. But this time around, K-Bobo was not having it, because he saw clearly everything that happened, and he was telling her outrightly that it was her fault. So as she was telling everything to Kola, K-Bobo came out of the house and was telling her that, oh, this is your fault. You did XYZ. You shouldn't have done that. And before we knew it, boom, Imisi was just firing Kola that get out, useless element, don't talk to me, da 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 da, big for nothing fool, da da da. She was just insulting the guy like that. And ladies and gentlemen, trust K-Bobo to match up her energy. Because for the guy, I don't understand, why are you insulting me? You were at fault. You took somebody's pot that he washed, knowing fully well that he kept it there. So why are you upset because he collected his pot? So both of them got into a very messy altercation. They were literally insulting each other back and forth. And Imisi had a lot of nasty things to say. Likewise, Kola, she would say nasty things. Kola too, I said Kola, K-Bobo too would respond. They were just going back and forth. And guys, as much as it was funny, it was also very surprising to me because I know that both of them, they have a friendship. Just as much as Imisi had told, what's his name, K-Bobo, that she really likes Faith and she has a crush on Faith, she also likes K-Bobo. She also likes Kola. And these guys are aware that she likes them. So what I don't get is, why is she getting mad at these guys because they are not reciprocating her likeness? It's like the moment they reject her, she just gets really mad, and then any slight thing, she just begins to attack them. Because that was exactly what she was doing to K-Bobo last night. She called this guy all sorts of names, insulted him, and trust K-Bobo too matched up her energy, insulted her back, and then started saying that his mouth was smelling. The guy too was like, you don't bath in this house, you always stink. Like, they were just going back and forth with each other to the point that she was speaking all this deep Yoruba insult, like yalla, 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 la, la, la. The guy too insulted her parents, and she was now angry. Oh, you're insulting my parents, you're insulting my parents. I'm like, girl, why are you upset? Why are you upset? You people are going at each other. You are insulting this guy, insulting his generation, insulting his life, his future, everything outside, and he's responding, he's retaliating. Why are you mad? And guys, it was really serious. It was really serious because she was calling him empty-brained, saying that he has the brain of a 2-year-old child, that he doesn't know how to express himself, that he's very dumb. Like, she was really insulting this guy, like really, like terrible insults. And of course, he was matching her energy. And then they now carried the insults to, oh, who are you? Because she was making it look like he has nothing, he has not achieved anything in life. And he was saying that, well, you've not even achieved half of what I have achieved in this life. And then she was like, oh, you don't even know who I am on the outside. If you see me on the outside, you will be shocked. You don't even know who I am. I say, yes, girl, spill it. Spill it. Let them know that this thing you're doing in the house, you're being fake. You're not being your real person. And he was telling her that, oh, look at you, don't even know how to speak English. She was like, oh, look at me, I can speak English. And I think at that moment, she kind of got herself back, and then she tried to go back into that fake acting thing that she does, you know. But another fun part of this whole drama between Imisi and K-Bobo was the role of some of the housemates that were in the garden at that point in time where it happened. They were just spectators. They were just there. They were just enjoying the match. They were laughing. Some of them were laughing. Some of them were shocked. And they were just there. They were just looking. But then the likes of Kuture, that one was having the time of his life. He was literally dancing and clapping and even using some of the insults to sing. And it was just very funny, you know. And then after a long while of these people having a go at each other, K-Bobo went into the house because he was even telling Imisi that, don't worry, that next week, I'm going to be in charge of the kitchen. Let me see you enter that kitchen to say you want to come and steal food and cook. I will show you pepper in this house. So she's like, she will take up the challenge that she will enter the kitchen next week and she wants to see what he will do. Me, I want to see if there's going to be a rematch between these two people. But then it was also very funny that after K-Bobo had gone back into the house, Imisi was almost going to go and face, what's his name now? Kuture. Oh God, guys, it was just very hilarious. Anyways, I'm gonna say that as far as I'm concerned, the fight between these two people was actually equal jabs. Nobody did more than anybody. They actually insulted each other at the same level, and that is that. I mean, they are friends. At the end of the day, there's been times when Imisi would do something and K-Bobo would be quiet about it. So both of them having a go at each other, fine, whatever. Maybe, just maybe, they'll resolve their differences. I don't know. But ladies and gentlemen, I thought I should fill you all in on what happened between these people? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Now, I know you all are still waiting for the video about all the chaos that happened in the house yesterday. Don't worry, a video is going to be coming out very soon today, so watch out for it, all right? But in the meantime, thank you all so much for watching. Enjoy the rest of your day, and bye.